Child, sorry for the lateness, okay? It really sucks that I just do not feel like paying for the upgraded version of StreamYard because that's what intros are for. Just in case you're running a little behind, you want to entertain the people, honey. Hello, God. You just play an intro, play a song, play something. But again, I apologize. So I know this is last minute. I just was feeling it, and I was like, you know what? Let's come up here. I have a little bit of energy, well rested. Hello, God, well rested. So I was like, let me just come on here and mingle with the people. Hello, God. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share all the things, honey. Follow me on Instagram at YB Speaks. Okay. Girl, remember tonight we'll be live down to Harviana's YouTube platform for the Kiki panel. Hello, God. We'll be getting into the things of all those things relating to Chasing Orlando, honey. Season 2, episodes 2 and 3. Okay. What's up, Denny? How you doing? And again, I don't really expect, people catching the replay. I appreciate y'all. People joining me live, I appreciate y'all too. Very last minute. I'll be trying to tell y'all, child, when I'm feeling it, honey. When I come, and we all know I love to come, okay? Period, bitch. Oh, girl. There are some things I wanted to talk about. I've been kind of wanting to talk about them, but overall, this live is just, dedicated to y'all. I'll end up sharing the link. If y'all want to click the link, please feel free. Let's chop it up, child. I have been absent. I haven't done a live in like over a month. So, I'm trying to get back into the things of all of those things. Okay. Be consistent, honey. What's up, Rashawn Murph? How you doing, boo? Your background is my shower. Okay. I got this on Amazon years ago. I don't know if y'all remember those, legendary live days, honey. Miss Chi Chi was always there posted. So it's time for her to, she slept for a while, child. Hello, God. And now she's awake. Okay, period. I fell in love with this, actually. It was actually a mistake. It was supposed to be something totally different. But when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is cunt. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. Don't even worry about it. I still got my refund though. Hello, God. Okay. What's up, Devontae? How you doing? It's Honesty. Hello. Welcome everybody into the court of truth and justice, honey. Yes, God. Whew, girl. First of all, how are we feeling about Orlando so far? Yeah. How are we feeling about Orlando so far? Mm-hmm. And if you can't get it out in the comments when I share the link, please feel free to come up and share your thoughts. Okay, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Rashawn Murph says it's a tad boring this season. Devontae says I'm loving it, but Marlo is too much. This is my thing. It's like watching How to Get Away with Murder, which now that I'm done watching Scandal again, I'm compelled to watch How to Get Away with Murder again. And one of the things that when I watched it the first time, I did not like about the show was it played everything in reverse. And it kind of like knocks you off. Y'all feel me? Like How to Get Away with Murder, it started off with the murder, okay? And then it backtracked to the original, origins or whatever, girl. Like it made me like Scandal wasn't like that. Scandal started off in real time, and then throughout the season, it would play these moments that would fill in the blanks and it would provide context, and it was done masterfully. But How to Get Away with Murder and Chasing Orlando, I feel like have that. I feel like we're missing a lot. Like you can't just, you know, you got to prep the puss. Hello, God, honey. You have to prep thine cooch, honey. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to make sure, hello, God, that you are fleeting before you meet, girl. Hello, God, that you are showered. Hello, God, that you are covered in all the fragrances, honey, of the gods, the old and the new, bitch. Hello, God. You got to moisturize, girl, after you done patted yourself dry. You provide moisture, whether that's your cocoa butter, honey, hello God. But for me, it is a mix of coconut oil and Vaseline. Get into it, girl. Hello God. Y'all know, honey, I'm the supreme when it comes to that pleasure, bitch. So, honey, get you. I do a mixture of. I have it right here, girl. Mm-hmm. Vaseline, hello God, and coconut oil, honey. You have to moisturize her, girl. Yeah, it's preparation. And then nowadays, I'm gonna give you a little trick too. It might be old to y'all, but it's kind of new to me, honey. I have a piece of trade that works at one of the adult stores, and he was tired of like working to get in thine booty hole. Hello God, because the girl is tight. Contrary to popular belief, bitch. Okay, she is tight. She is right. She is smooth, honey. Okay, let me tell you something. She's always prepped. That is why the boys, hello God, come to the yard. And damn right, it's better than yours. Period, girl. Like when you have repeat customers, hello God, you just know that you are the T. You are the true supreme girl. And so you have to, when you're prepping, and I know we went on this long tangent, hello God, but you know how I get, girl. There's no rules to the game, honey. We make the rules to the game, period. Okay. Hello guys. So you have to do all those things. So but Trade was tired of working. Hello God. So he brought me a really nice plug, and it's the perfect size. And like what I do now is all the things prep like we discussed, and then I go ahead and I pop her in, girl, and let her sit there for a while. And then when you know after, in the words of Rachel, the little sucky sucky, hello God, pop her out, have Trade pop her out, and you're kind of prepped. You're ready. Okay, there's no more struggle. Ooh, glory! There is no more pain. There's no more suffrage. Hello God. Ooh, yes, Lord. And then Trade can enter. Mm-hmm. You won't have that many problems. You don't need the papas, even though I still use the papas, honey, hello God, but you don't need all of that because you've been prepped. So what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is that is we're not getting that from Orlando. There is no context provided. We didn't even kick open the door. We didn't even get to film the kicking of the door. The door was already open. It was already walked through. Hello God, and there was no there. And I truly feel like what I said in one of my other reviews. What I really do feel is if we're coming to that space now where, just like Dallas, love you down, Markel, but it is the truth though. It's the spicier elements of human behavior, no matter how raggedy. Hello. No matter how narcissistic and delusional. Hello, God, the delusions of Grania, darling, and violent behaviors and really disturbing thought processes. And then those same people, hello, God, end up getting mad with you when, oh, just review the show, just review the show. That's what I'm doing. I'm talking about the things that I'm seeing, and your behavior is revealing that you may be 99.9% a cunt and not a good one. Okay. So that's where I have some issues. It's always the girls that come, oh my God, like you guys know, girl, like this is what I'm seeing. Whether it's been chopped and screwed in the editing process, what I I'm just saying. And it makes me laugh, and I be wanting to like yell and scream, but not out of anger, but just out of like and that's why more so in the past couple of franchises, I never used to pay attention to the comments, but now I go through and I read a lot of them because I need to make sure, honey, hello God, I need to make sure, amen, that I am not wrong, that I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. They say I'm crazy, girl. And I know that I'm not because 99.9% of the comments that I see are in the alignment of the way that I'm thinking and giving my perspective. It's crazy to me. I just really wish this season would have started. Oh, what's up, Fabio? How you doing? How are you? Are you still, you know, in relationship? Hello, God. And if you are still in relationship, well, what are the rules of? Do you have any rules in your relationship? Hello, God. I like to wrestle too. I don't like to lose. So if you win, that just means I let you. Okay, hello, God. How they say, let the man be the man, honey. Yes, I know that's right. I'm gonna make some adjustments with the rules just for you. Child, don't play with me. You didn't put a LOL after that. You didn't put a just joking. You that's a period. Hello, God. Period. Hello, God. Periana to my period, honey. Hello, God. Okay. Huh. Y'all are more reachable than the girls in, well, I ain't gonna lie. There's nobody left in Dallas that's desirable on that level. You know, the girls really think I hate the girls because, like, I push for masculine representation on the shows. I push for that because, like, when your whole 8 fucking years of being invested in these shows, right? And it's just a bunch of queens and a bunch of women, like, okay, thank you. That's why I was so in love when we were introduced to Robert. But now we realize that she has her ways. No tea, no shade. We good now, baby. But it's the truth. Robert can bend that wrist, honey. Okay, and that's fine too because ultimately that is a man, honey. Oh, that's male represent. That's masculine representation. And why I used to go up for Kesey too, but now, child, Kesey done found herself, honey. Okay, if you gave me a chance, I would take it. Yes, Kesey, girl, you better work, bitch. And then we see, and I love that for them too because like I feel like when I thought that I was DL, because girl, I didn't really need to come out because people like, girl, we already knew, girl. That voice alone and, the moments of breaking wrists, girl, and I had a little sass to me even when I was a little girl. But you think you doing trade, girl. You think you giving man, honey. You know what I'm saying? And you do your best not to be clocked, honey. But it's when you become more comfortable, it's not really, you don't even have to come out the closet to be comfortable because I don't even believe in big announcements. Oh, girl, I'm finally free. No, girl, this isn't fucking Aladdin, girl. You're not a genie trapped in a bottle, girl. Like, you don't have to make this big statement. But I feel like when you become more comfortable with yourself, like, it's okay to have those moments of queening out. You're going to have that. And I love that for everyone who gets to experience that. I always revere that, like, you remember the Noxzema Jackson scene in the beginning of To Wong Fu when she was getting ready and she finished putting her stuff on and she laid in the bed and kicked her feet up. Like, that's what I think about when I look at people like just finally being able to just let it out real quick, girl. I don't give a damn. The most masculine man that is of the LGBTQ community, I guarantee you, after a couple of cocktails, hello God, I guarantee you, a girl is going to slip out, bitch. And I love that for them. Okay? I love that for them. Because, honey, even when I'm kicking it with the straight dudes and we're, in our zone or whatever, child, and oh, okay, that's just thunder, girl. I thought someone was knocking. I'm about to say I ain't expecting nobody. But yeah, girl, you let an old girl out real quick or child or I live for those. It's okay to do that. It's okay to do that. I find it funny. I find it hilarious. I live for it. And we can slap five right after it, bitch. And you got some dudes who will catch themselves. But for me though, I feel like the straight dudes, they look at me and they're like, they just start busting out laughing because first of all, if you do try to call me out, your friend group already knows. Like, if you can own that you are hello God gay, right? And you're also one of them dudes like from the hood type shit, like you grew up rough, fighting and shit and dealing with that, all of that. 9 times out of 10, your friend group, they know how you get down. They're your friends because you don't play that shit. So they already know there's only so far they can go with trying to clock you or trying to Jones on you because you can put up with the best of them. Hello God. So, but anyway, long tangent, girl. But yeah, I just need this season. Oh, thank you, Danny. Welcome everybody. I'm sorry, y'all. I get carried away. Y'all know how I am. I have a very large imagination, child. And I love to talk. So, But yeah, I just need Orlando to. I don't know. Like we discussed with Chasing Dallas, I do feel like that there's these ratchet elements that are added, and I get it. I understand it. Let's tell the truth. We don't watch reality television because the girls are going to church and singing church hymns, hello God, and giving back to the needy, bitch, holding hands, praying to all the gods, the old and the new. Like, we're not watching those shows for that. We're watching for the mess, for the drama. But at least in a lot of those other aspects, if there's a buildup, there's context, and it all ends up making sense to the viewership. So I just feel like we're, again, not even kicking open the door, walked straight through, no context, no pretext, no understanding, rah, 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 rah. Does that mean I don't like it? No. No, I like Orlando. I have given Orlando like season 1. It caught me off guard when it was a very short season. But I did like season 1. Season 2, it's good, but it would be way better if it made sense. The drama, Drita. Okay, hello, God. The last scene of the last episode was great. I'm more of a Rashida. I can't see it all the way. My thing is with that scene, right, is it's impactful, hello, God, because it came out of left field. It's impactful because it is something that is different. I was in complete awe. Like I stated in my review, I was in complete awe because I did not expect it, for one. And that dynamic is very different. Girl, we're talking about a trans person who also still owns their male side, more than likely struggles with, family issues and, identity and things of that nature because of, family, you know what I mean? Who has a girlfriend who now they want to start a family. And the girlfriend's chilling, so they've been together for a minute. Very interesting. Very, very. And my thing is, when we introduce those types of elements, right? What's important is the storytelling. How are we going to set this up? Because I truly believe this will be the end of the conversation. I don't remember the preview too much. Does this conversation continue? Hello, God. You can't just put that scene on somebody and say, girl, that's it. We're not revisiting this. What? Huh. What? So, because we focus on, not saying y'all don't know how to tell deep stories, but from what we've seen so far with Orlando, if you guys do go down that road, it's going to be off-putting to most viewers because you've done built up all this mess and drama to the point where we're finally going to get into the minutia, honey, hello, gone, of some real things. I'm afraid you're not going to be able to tell that story the right way if you decide to continue trying to tell that story. Hopefully all that made sense. Okay. Because when we peel the layers, y'all know, I know y'all tired of that. When we peel back the layers on these cast members, right, we start to notice the relatability, the familiarity, hello God, the similar life experiences that we all share, hello God. We need more. We need more. I'm just afraid that there are missed opportunities in expounding on people's stories. Child, Chasing Reality, y'all need to get y'all a different platform, not a platform, but a different show. And not that you need to, but this is just my, my take on it. You have like Chloe, for instance, right? T.S. Kendra. You have Barbie Bankrose. You have now the girls on Orlando. You have LA. There are a plethora of girls where you can put together a show that has to do with the trans experience. They don't need to be chasing shit. This can be like a documentary style highlighting these women's experiences. I think that would be really cute. And Rashida definitely needs to be a part of it. I said this before, I'll say it again. At some point throughout this season, just because I don't really like talking to people who use you got to watch the rest of the season, and girl, please, like, I like to wait. I wonder if there's an opportunity to have a conversation with Rashida, because that whole thing made me realize, girl, y'all know I have a certain level of ignorance, and I do try my best to move through it, right? I'm not a baby to the community, but there are certain elements of our community that I still haven't experienced or that I still don't understand, and in truth can be ignorant on. Okay? Y'all know me, I'm open to change of thought process. Hello God, I just need it to be explained or delivered to me in a way that can alter that way of thinking. Now, certain things may not change, but for the most part, I am definitely open to learning, because how do we change if we're not learning? You know what I'm saying? When you learn something new, you adjust your way of thinking, you grow, you become. Shout out to Imani Ben Zab. So I really do believe that that would be a good conversation, because, like, wow, like, just when you think you're getting a hand on understanding different aspects of the community that aren't your own experience, you get hit with some shit like this, and you're just like, girl, like, what? Okay. Eyes opened, hello God, ears opened, hello God. And in no way am I judging. And no, I know my commentary can come off a little but like, in no way am I judging. I really just have more questions than anything, to be honest. You know what I mean? And shout out to y'all, because y'all be holding the doll feet to the fire. Let me tell you something. A real judge, hell, the judge is nothing. Hello God, without the bailiff. Hello God, without the attorneys, the prosecutors, the defense lawyers, the jury. Hello God, the judge, the people that even place them there. Some judges are voted in. You know, like they're elected. So like you're nothing without people being able to come to you respectfully and saying, hey, you know, bitch, your way of thinking, you need to get it together. You know, like, girl, what's the tea? So, you know, yeah. Everyone should be willing to listen and learn and give people and I try, you know, not to be as judgmental because let's just tell the truth. I think we all are in a lot of ways, especially when it's towards things you don't understand or you know you've always had a certain perspective on, and then like now you're being forced to actually think about changing your mind. Like it can really stir up the um, the ego and the pride of it all. But a real bitch, hello God, takes it all in, even the shit they don't want to hear and feel. They assess, hello God, they grow and become. That's the point of it all. Now, a couple years ago, girl, please. Okay. But again, when you're growing and becoming, that's what happens. Yes, girl. But shout out to Chasing Orlando, girl. I wish y'all the best, honey. Like, I really do feel like y'all have something, but I just really need the storytelling to be better. I need y'all to be able to, you know, provide context and to apply build up to certain situations. Even like when we saw Remini, um, girl, you ain't trying to open that mouth, bitch. You open that mouth to bite Christopher Columbus's face off, honey, okay? You open that mouth to cuss the girls out down to the damn reunion, girl. You open that mouth for everything else. Oh, my bad, because you're not the victim in this situation. Because let's tell the truth, girl, I'm not trying to victim shame anybody. But, girl, when you're a victim, you know they're a victim. They're going to let you know. They're going to be very vocal and loud about, girl, my husband beat my ass. You're going to hear about that. So Remini was hush mouth, and there was no real. I forgot who I heard say this. Fuck. I would love to give credit to the content creator, but I can't remember. I listened to a bunch of shit, y'all. Ooh. Was it Ebby? When her and El Teddy did their review and they were talking about that scene, I believe. Was it that? Where they said because it was, you can tell that it wasn't happening to her, to him, based on the way that she felt disassociated from the situation. And I believe it because Christopher Columbus, girl, that thing was petite. That girl, a good wind could have blown her ass to China, girl. That's how small she was. No hurricane, no category 1, not even a tropical storm, bitch. Just a good gust, girl. Take the girl away to the land of Oz, bitch. Okay? So I believe that Remini was wearing her out. Girl, please. Girl, please. Y'all gotta keep y'all hands to yourself. And you know, it's always a traumazine type of bitch that ends up being an abuser. Okay? I ain't gonna lie, girl. That was one of the reasons I was never like a bee. Well, you know, them niggas had it coming. Okay, let's just tell the truth. Like, it was because I'm reactionary, girl. I don't start nothing, okay? But I finish it. Okay, period. Um, but like keep your hands off people, girl. It's always a traumazine ass bitch who is out here being the aggressor. Girl, go to therapy. You're worried about getting coins. You're worried about, you know, being late in the midnight hour down to the shows and in the drag shows, girl. You need to be worried about going to somebody's therapy, girl, because you could be in prison. If I was Christopher Columbus, girl, I would have put on them white tears, girl. Hello, God, those colonizer tears, bitch. Okay, girl, please. Would roll up to the courthouse in the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, bitch. Okay, girl, please. Your Honor, bitch, and slam my face into a wall just to make it worse than what it is. Let me tell you something. You'll be arrested, bitch. Girl, and you in Orlando too, they love to throw the punks in jail. Speaking of that, girl, child, it is never, I never like to do things like this, but now the cat is out of the bag. Y'all know B Baby Lindo got arrested, child. Girl. And she was driving under the influence. Shout out to Devontae, honey. Shout out to someone else sent me that. Forgive me, baby, if I forgot your name. I so apologize. But like, I'm not the news. I'm not one of those girls that, partake in that. I review the shows. I really could care less what you girls do on your off time. But girl, B Baby Lindo, girl. So you must be friends with what's Roseanne? What's her real name? From Dallas, girl, Rio. You must be friends with Rio, girl. Girl, you better get your shit together. I know you going through some things, baby. I know you going through some things. I know you are going through some things. But this path, Hello God, that you are going down is not the tea, baby. Not the tea at all. No. Parlez-vous français? I say no. Do I need to say it in your language or in Espanol, honey? No. No, girl. It's a no God. Let me tell you something, bitch. We talk about this all the time over here. The devil dwelleth in dry places. Okay? We don't mean the real devil. The devil is you, the emotion, the fear, whatever you're feeling, the pain, the heartache, the self-loathing of it all, the depression, the sadness, hello God, the loneliness of it all. Live there for a while for the experience, but don't live there too long, baby, because it will consume you, honey. It'll do exactly what the fuck it's doing to you right now. Not only could you have destroyed your life, but the life of someone else. People close to me have perished in car accidents because of the foolishness of other people on the road. And you seem like a very sensitive person. Could you live with yourself if that would have been the case? The same thing we asked, Pepper Pig girl, hello God. Could you have lived with yourself? And what if other people were in the car with you? Now you're responsible for their demise or whatever happens to them. Like there's so many. Let me tell y'all something, honey. Years ago, I always tell this story when we talk about DUI. When I was in Atlanta, when I lived in Atlanta, I worked at this bar, girl. And I was a manager there. And honey, it was my birthday. I was off. And girl, I was young. I was like 19 or 20. I was, 19 or 20 or 21. No, I was 19, 20, around that age. Y'all know over there on Highland Avenue, around there from the Boulevard, child. Okay, I worked at this place called Jack's, right down the street from the Highland Bakery. On the Highland Avenue. It was in the 4th Ward. So, girl, I was like, you know what? I don't ever do this. Let me just turn up, child. So I turned up. I turned up, honey. Do y'all know what a Jaeger bomb is? Girl. And I was the manager, half off. Girl, I was through there, honey. It was to the point where I was dancing with these white girls and I had yelled out something like, who's coming home with me? Girl, my home girl, shout out to Miss Heather Hutch, girl. Heather Hutch with the clutch, girl. My home girl Heather was like, all right, yeah, you're drunk, bitch. It's time for you. It's time for you to chill out. So, girl, people were asking for my keys and shit. Girl, let me tell you something, girl. Don't don't do shit. Leave me alone. And that was my mistake. So I'm chilling out. She's like, all right, I'm gonna go home. And I was like, all right, girl, I might come by later, you know, because me and her always, she had a really cute, at the time she lived with her grandmother child. She had coins, girl. She lived in a big high rise downtown, honey. It was real cute. Um, was it down there on Baker Street? Somewhere down there. So, girl, I'm chilling out, and then I'm like, all right, girl, it's time for you to go. So I call Heather, like, girl, I'm coming to your crib. We finna chill, have some more, drinks. In the in the words, girl of homegirl, libations, girl, please. Girl, I get in the car. Next thing you know, I wake up in her parking lot. Now, alarm blazing, missed calls for days from her. I felt like complete and utter shit. And girl, I could not believe that not only did I successfully, thank God, right, make it all the way to her crib, but I parked perfectly, cut the car off, doors were locked, seat pulled back, and I went to sleep, I guess, obviously. I could not help but think to myself after I threw up the whole previous night, child. I got home, took a shower, called Heather back, and she was like, "I was worried about you. Where the fuck were I?" I was like, "Girl, I woke up in your parking lot." And I had to look around the car. I had just looked at everything, looked under the car. I was just so worried that because I could not recall how the fuck did I get here. I don't remember the drive. It was that moment I said no more driving while under the influence of alcohol. Girl, when I first started smoking, girl, I had to stop driving in that. Honey, girl, my eyes was not right for that shit, especially driving at night with all them damn headlights coming at you. I had to adjust. But like it really let me know, like, oh wow, never again. And let me tell you, since then, I've always had either a designated driver because I don't drink like that no more at all. Like I don't even buy alcohol no more. Like this year, I can count on like one hand how many fucking drinks I probably had. I bought a whole bottle of Captain Morgan a couple months back. Girl, that thing sat in my freezer for 3 months, and I just gave it to somebody. Like I took one shot and threw up. For some reason, like I can do a cute mixed drink, a daiquiri too. Hello, God. But girl, I can't do the alcohol no more. I don't know what it is. My body just says no. But at that moment in my life, I was like, wow, the things that could have happened that night that would have changed my whole fucking life. So, B Baby Lindo, I know that was a long ass little situation I just gave, but girl, you got to get it together. You need to be sitting down with Twan Dixon. And you know what? Let me speak about that too. El Teddy spoke on this, and at first I was I do believe in therapy and I believe that it's important. And I do believe in the work that Twan Dixon does. But there is an element to therapy that I do think needs to remain private. And I think B Baby Lindo, like, okay, I think, grief, loss, were seeing Sarah Jessica Parker sitting with Twan, that's something that, okay, openly we can discuss that. But I think a BBL situation, he needs to sit down and have that conversation privately, because something's telling me there's a lot there. There's a lot to unpack. Yeah. But yeah, girl, you better pray to God you ain't hurt nobody. Girl. Because not only will you go to prison, and in the state of Florida, they don't play about DUIs. They will take your license. They will have you wrapped up, girl. Please don't get it twisted. And you would be definitely, you got the body, the face, the attitude to be somebody's prison bitch. You like to twerk? Oh, you finna twerk, girl. Inmate 739-284. Hello, God. Hello, God is gonna wear you out. And not only do you have to, like I said, to live with that on your conscience, girl. Come on now, get it together, girl. I like you. You're one of the girls who I thought had it all together. But then again, I understand because I have been where you're at. I've been down many dark holes, girl. Hello, God. I've watched myself turn into something, hello, God, that I never thought possible. But you have to dig deep, baby. Dig deep and pull yourself out. Amen. Hmm. Another suggestion I have, and I think a lot of people have given this suggestion, and I think I did a couple times throughout the years. But one thing that I think would breathe life back into chasing reality is not only do you have a lot of fan favorites, you have the capacity to, because you have so many franchises, we need an all stars. We need like a retreat vibe, but amplified. Like I think you need to put together a poll to see, from each franchise, like who, like let's say for instance you wanted 20 people, you would ask people, like I would love to see a lot of these girls mix and mingle. I would love to see how that would play out, like a real world vibe or some shit like that. Like, the retreat was cute. Y'all really, try to do your thing with the whole like therapy and all that stuff. And girl, hold on. I'll get into that, but I'm gonna finish what I'm talking about now because that just made me think of somebody. But yeah, I think that nostalgia, you know, would bring back old viewers. The nostalgia would really like give us our things. You know what I mean? Like, remember how back in the day, like there was a moment, I don't think Tammy was on Basketball Wives, or like there were certain people that weren't on. And even though I've never liked Jennifer, it was just, I loved reading her for filth because she's such a simpleton, girl. She's such a simpleton. And she's hilarious to read, and to watch. A big warning sign for your daughters who not to become in this life or the next. Okay, girl. Like, I'd rather be reincarnated into a roach than to have to be born Jennifer Williams, girl. Okay. But those moments where they would bring back those people and you would be like, yes, girl. Like, you just feel like, especially if they've never really changed. You feel me? Like, yes, God, honey. It's just like that. And I really do think that yeah, it would be cute to put something together like that. I'm here for it. And I don't want to be mean here, but I do think that the executive producers that will be under Andario and the Chasing brand, if they would like to continue, I do think it's time to, and I'm not judging y'all because I don't know what you know. I'm judging from what I see, and I love storytelling myself. Okay, brush up on the skills. It's never it's never a bad thing to say, you know what, let me, even if you don't go to a class, like they have free online seminars, they have all kinds of shit you can do to like how to tell a story properly, how to really make your transitions work, how, you know, how to breathe life into situations that, you know, necessarily would be, you know, it would be like, damn, that's unconventional, that's, you know, that's a weird method. Like I just would love to, because when I see like Orlando, for instance, and there's no context, there's no buildup, that lets me know that you lack the ability, hello God, to effectively tell a story. Where's the imagination? Where is the logical thinking at to say like we need X, Y, and Z to correlate and to make sense? So I would love there to be context. And that's probably the thing for this season that's going to be big with me in my reviews is like, where's the context, where's the buildup, you know? um so y'all remember the shit we do for love, girl, child? So TTB reported, girl, I first of all, I loved the shit we do for love, especially the seasons with Noelle, girl. Girl, pink wig, whip, like giving whiplash or whatever. That episode was the tea. Kevon Burns, I know that you have, you know, faded into the background of this life, honey. Okay, I know that you are nowhere to be found, girl. Hello, gone. You have been launched into space and forever gotten in this life, but I don't know why. I don't know why. And you should have just never did that music show you did. And you should have stuck with the shit we do for love. Because that was a great show. Honey Travis, girl, hello God, a key bitch. Okay, rah rah, that was my man. Sometimes my woman, because you know, nowadays, you know, she don't know what she want, honey. Hello God. What was the friend, the one with the the little skinny boy with the stutter or whatever. I love him kind of because he will get the girls together. Like I really love this show, but Noelle, girl, Noelle was so hilarious. Even though I always read her down for filth, girl, for her lack of you know emotional intelligence. But honey, Malcolm, girl, like Malcolm was a whole lot of girl. She was definitely a lot. But the show was just really, really good. Okay, it was really, really good. Child, like there is no update on Travis's sister, unfortunately. Like we prayers, child. Like I can only imagine what he's going through. But honey, the show was the show. It was a really good show. And y'all know the reunion host. For those, if you ever watched my reviews on the shit we do for love, when I reviewed that reunion that he was a part of, I read him for filth. Something about him, just never set right with me to begin with. Um, Remember that one scene when he was chilling with that boy who wore all those damn um Dick Gregory coats? Y'all remember the light skinned boy, child? Oh my god. He only survived one season. I think they got rid of his ass. Um, Honey, that little light skinned boy, the way he was talking to him in one scene, I was like, girl, it's giving predator, girl. It just didn't his spirit, his energy just did not sit right with me. But you know, as reported by TTV girl, um, Mama is no longer with us. So catch this. If you don't know, you know now. Okay. Um, U.S. Marshals, Honey Helgott, were serving a warrant for his arrest based on, you know, allegations, you know, because we're innocent until proven guilty. Hello, God. Allegations of sexual assault towards a minor. While they were executing the warrant, honey, um, homegirl decided to run for her life. And she jumped off the second story of her apartment buildings, and I guess she like broke something or some shit. She was apprehended, child, and whisked off to, to jail. Because of her, they took her to the hospital first, and then when she was released, they took her to jail. Well, because of her injury, they had her, by herself. Child, they ended up coming to check on her, and she basically, took her own life, honey. And this is my thought process, right? Predators of this nature will oftentimes seek employment. Hello, God. They will intentionally seek out these spaces because that is the playground. Hello, God, that they like to be around. Okay, like you got to understand that, honey. Why do you think if you get on that list, you can't be near no school? You can't even be near a registered school bus stop, bitch. You can't be next to no parks. You can't be where children dwell, period. You can't even live there. Because they know if that wasn't in place, that would be your playground. So be wary. There's all kinds of stories with these teachers, with these counselors, girl, with these therapists, girl, with these life coaches, girl, with these doctors. There's always a police officers, especially just because it's not publicized like that. Trust and believe these police officers are some of the nastiest monsters to walk this planet. It's usually these people, hello God, that are in pastors, priests, the people that are healing, the people that are out here trying to provide safety and, shit, foster parents, hello, daycare workers. Like you, girl, I'm just telling you, girl, we had a situation at my job a long time ago. There was this man who was caught trying to groom one of the kids. Child, we caught his ass on the camera scrolling through his phone, showing the kids naked pictures of himself. The kid apparently this was a buildup. That's why we had called it grooming. First of all, I was furious because I was like, how long had this been going on for? Like, why haven't we been able to catch this sooner? Like, this is disturbing. This is really disturbing. And in order to work in a place that I work, you have to go through two background checks, a local background check and a level 2 background check, which is done by the FBI. Like, girl, if you want to work with kids, you have to be squeaky clean, okay? But let me tell you something. Most predators have not been caught yet. Hello. Let's tell the truth, girl. They haven't been caught yet. Hello. That's how they're able to get into some of these spaces. But yeah, girl, hauled his ass off to jail. Hello, obviously you're fired. But like, girl, we work in a space where we're trying to heal these kids from their trauma, not add more trauma to them. So how fucking dare you? So just be wary, girl, because this man was a life coach. He was a therapist. Apparently, I don't know if this is true, but it was like someone he met at church or some shit like that. But girl, be careful. And a lot of y'all, let me tell you something, child. Because I grew up in foster care, people thought they could do things to me because they didn't think that I don't have a family. Hello. Because I don't have anybody in my corner. Hello. I can get away with treating this person like that. So when you have these people, these men, hello God, who and women who work in places where you have at-risk teens and shit like that, be careful. Because in their mind, oh, I can get away with it because no one cares about them. No one loves them. Hello, God. Who they gonna tell? Oh, and don't be poor and hungry and thirsty and need shelter. Oh, they're gonna use all of that to their advantage to it's gonna be a grooming process. It's gonna be a build up, girl. Hello, God. Be mindful, girl. Some of y'all parents out here letting y'all kids just know, girl, we got to go back to the old way of thinking, honey. Street lights on, girl, get your ass in the house. I'm hearing reports are flooding the streets, girl, that this new generation of parents are literally letting their fucking elementary school kids walk distances to bus stops. Girl, what? Girl, please. And I heard some weird don't hold me to it. I'm always listening to stuff, and the way I process information is very crazy. But I swear I read somewhere or heard somewhere that there's like over 500,000 kids missing nationwide or some shit. That's not even global. That's like nationwide or some shit. And I'm just like, and most of them are black and brown children. So my thought is like, first of all, we're not hearing any of these stories. Hello, God. Well, a lot of them we hear in the aftermath. Then we look to Houston and we see that in that lake of death, obviously, girl, from 2000 whatever till now, they've discovered hundreds of bodies. Where are the missing persons reports, first of all? Second of all, you obviously have a serial killer on your hands. Why are we not sounding the alarm on these things? And then in two instances, you have these I hate to say this, and I really am not trying to be general when I speak of this, but this is my experience as a Florida native and someone who's like, I piece things together. We know the most atrocities are actually conducted by white men, but I'm going to speak from a localized standpoint. These older Mexican guys, you need to be careful. I'm telling you, girl, you see these old Mexican dudes and they drinking and shit. Do not leave your children around them. Do not trust these men. Now that goes for every color, every race, nationality, and culture. But I'm talking about localized things that I'm seeing a lot of where I'm at. These old Mexican dudes, you need to be careful. I don't trust them. Period. A lot of stories are coming out, girl. A lot of stories are coming locally of these old Mexican, and I think they just had a national news story a couple months back. This young kid went against his parents' will down to the soccer coach's house for the weekend. Honey did not return home. He murked that little boy, and apparently he had a long history of being a child predator. Girl, please. Like there's a lot of them, those similar stories that I'm starting to see a lot of. And I told y'all my experience with the neighbor, Hello God, that I had when the U.S. Marshals Task Force child pulled me over asking me questions about my neighbor. He was wanted because he had been doing that to the kids. Damn right I snitched. Get his ass. Because there's nothing but kids in that apartment. Girl, please, no ma'am. Not on my watch. Huh. Not on my watch. But yeah, honey, I just want to say that, yeah, y'all need to, we ain't doing that. We are not doing that, girl. Um, Protect the kids. Protect the kids. Let me see if I can share the link, honey. Copy. Post the comment. Paste. Okay, where's the TV? Okay, well, hold on. What the Okay. Oh my God, bro. Hold on, y'all. But yeah, honey, let me say this too real quick. I'm trying to share y'all the link. For some reason it's not letting me do it right here. Let me see if it'll let me do it now. Okay. That's the link, y'all. Feel free to click if you want to come up, ask questions, anything. Feel free. I do have something that was on my mind recently. And I know it's kind of left field, but I do want to bring it up. Keke Palmer, right? Um, People, more specifically, black women, right? Well, women, period. I've seen a bunch of commentary from different, you know, different races of women, but obviously I see more of it from, black females' perspectives. And they were trying to call her out and talk about how she's a horrible interviewer and her show needs to, her podcast or whatever needs to be canceled. Um, and I just want to say this, right? I find it interesting that all of the negativity towards Keke took place after that interview with Offset took place, right? And people were angry at the fact that she wasn't harder on him or asking a lot of the questions, that we all kind of would have liked to ask him in regards to his, relationship with Cardi B. And me as a viewer, right? And me as someone who has interviewed a lot of people, my style of interviewing is not to be intrusive, messy, or intentionally, biased, right? The whole point of being an interviewer is to be unbiased. We did expect Keke, especially knowing what she went through previously with that sorry ass baby daddy of hers, right? We would have expected her to drill into Offset's ass, right? We expected that. We did not get that. And the fact that we did not get what we expected makes me more proud of her, more awe inspired of her as an interviewer because she was able to remove her personal bias, hello God, and deal with what we call in the interview world as the subject in a professional way. So when other people see this interview, they'll be like, okay, we thought she was going to pull the girl's girl card, which I do get it. But in the world of professional interviewing, you want to come off as unbiased as possible. And in my opinion, that's what made the interview so good. So I like Keke's interviews, especially when she interviewed Mariah Carey. She's talked to a couple people that I found, I was like, wow, this is her questions, her relatability, the freshness, way better than J Hud girl, period. Hey, what's up, Devontae?
Hey, hey.
How are you?
I am doing good. I just woke up. That's so bad. I just woke up from being asleep all day after working last night. Whew, I'm
You
tired of
deserve your
working.
rest.
I'm tired of working. And I gotta go back tomorrow. Ugh,
Oh
the
wow.
ghetto. The ghetto.
I,
But
how you doing now?
I'm doing good. I'm actually proud of you, actually. Like, I just saw your review on Chase of Orlando episode 2 and episode 1 and 3. All three of them. I want to say one of them you was talking about you trying to do a podcast and your pleasure points and everything like that. And I'm not gonna lie, I love your pleasure points. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely do. Um, I was going to sit there, and if you wanted me to, I could refer you to a mic that you would particularly want, or stand some like stuff that you would say that you wanted. I could
Yeah,
just send that to you, certain links and everything like that, with your permission, of course.
I would love that. Thank you so much, because that's what I want. I want a sound and a look, and I really want it to be cute enough to the point where it's worthy to be a podcast.
Okay, okay. Um, Now back to chasing, or now we're chasing Orlando.
Hmm.
I want okay, so I wanted to review the show and everything like that, but them coming out late is blowing me. It is irritating me because it's like, bruh, we're late for no reason. Like, what's happening? And 3 episodes back to back to back, and the after shows not being like Pablo's after show. I was really looking forward for his after show, but
Did it happen?
no.
Okay, because I don't watch the after shows unless something really juicy happens and someone directs my path. I kind of stay away from the after shows. I just want to review the actual show,
Right.
get moving, you know. But so it didn't happen at all.
Mm-mm, no, it was supposed to happen after episode 3, and it would make so much sense because I want to know more about that Remini and Pablo situation on a like more in depth information from what y'all were talking about on the Kiki panel because I watched y'all two over there too.
Thank.
Um, Remini, I don't have nothing really to say positive or negative because it's like, is it wrong to say I don't care? Is it bad to say that? Like, I care, but I don't care because you're not on the show no longer, and we have this scene in the show. You're not even a friend of the show. You're not here no longer. So why was that
Well, this
scene
this
still
is what
there?
was said. They said in the live that she did record most of the season, but it's towards the end of the season that she decided to drop out altogether, and she never came back to do her confessionals.
Well, I feel like they should have pulled a Kenya Moore and got rid of most of her scenes and demoted her to a guest role to be in certain scenes, but not kept her important scenes. If she's not going
If
to
they
talk
would have
about it,
deleted, what if, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm just providing a different, perspective. Like, I'm thinking, if what if her scenes were other people's scenes as well, and that's the footage that they planned to have for these episodes. So now they would have to go all the way, start all the way over again, and that would be wasting money, time, film. Like, that's
I
why
guess.
that's why I always go back. If you pay these girls compensation, not only will you'll be in loss, right? That'll force you to sue them. These people are not going to want to go through that. They're gonna buck up, and they're gonna follow through with the obligation that they signed up for. Pay these people, provide some type of, people need an incentive to be on their best behavior. Pay them, have them sign an ironclad contract, and really start suing these girls when they breach contracts. Take
Like,
these bitches to court.
it's just also other things too, like with, and I love the cast is very attractive, yes. However, I want to, in the past 3 episodes, we've gotten mess, personal but mess. So it's like we haven't gotten to the chasing aspect. Like, what do some of these new girls do? Like, you can talk about it, but I want to see you like in a work scene. Like, Mark did it. Mark did a work scene, but I don't see no one else doing a work scene. Even if it's talking about your producer or your sound engineer, that's still a work scene. I don't know what else y'all do. And who I'm talking about the trans women who are on the show. I feel like Marlo being, I was under the impression that she is a community health liaison and a trans activist. That's what I assumed she was. And Rashida, a club promoter or a stripper or whatever you want to call it. But why are you on this show? Like, what can you show differently on this show that you couldn't show elsewhere? Like, what can you bring besides mess? Because it was very distasteful and very disrespectful for them girls to be cackling about allegedly DV towards Max. And that right there, by that Sarah Jessica Parker, that right there was just so disrespectful and so distasteful. Like, why would you laugh? You all are.
Girl, Danny,
I
you're a
I don't
pod. That ain't no podcast, child. That is a Facebook Live.
look like it. Really it was very distasteful. Like, and saying that, oh, he's doing his stuff in his apartment. Yeah, he's doing his stuff in his apartment. But guess what? You supposed to be a so-called money girl and have the money. Why are you having your what is it, your club inside your apartment with
Girl,
one pole and these these couches that look like they came from Chasing Atlanta reunion season 1? Like, what is going on? Like, and then you walk around with the stacks of money. It looks very classless and very like, no. I'm confused. Like, I don't know what else them new girls got anything going on, but I feel like honestly, if we took them both out the show, I think we would have a lot more going on. At least the same things going on, but without those two
I'm
individuals.
actually mad. You know, the only add-on that I do live for is Fabio. And I do believe like if Marley J could have came back, like he had his music is actually really good. And I was really upset with season 1 because they didn't get his process before he had his album release or whatever. And we couldn't get invested in him the way we needed to.
Mm-hmm.
This season is kind of like doing the same thing with certain people. Like I would love to see more of who they are. I want a clear direction, a clear path for these people. And it seems like every time we introduce new people or, you know, we never really get that the way we need to. The introduction, you know, the clear path. Why wrap it up in so much foolishness and make it difficult for the audience to actually like these people? You know what I'm saying? And I get it that that might be just who they are, and we're going to record who they are. But if it doesn't make sense for the collective, why do it at all?
Like, not only makes sense, but it's like we're bringing up a issue that is not even an issue. And I looked up the actual law about recording a conversation and about being part of a conversation that nothing to do with you. And the simple fact that that is a law that you are not supposed to sit there and be on the phone if okay, my bad. Third party involvement. If you are not aware of a third party involved in a call or anything like that, that is wrong. You can
Mm.
get fined, sued, whatever the case, something can happen. The simple fact that we as the viewers don't know what the heck is the real issue, and you're talking about it as if it's new information, and it might be new information, but it's not on the show.
And honestly, I don't even care. I mean,
It doesn't matter.
if I
It
can be
doesn't
honest,
matter.
like because when I see people like that, and I think I mentioned this in one of my reviews, when I see people like that, I'm like, okay, so you're not chasing anything because if you're just going to be diving into mess all the time, and that's just what we're opening up with you and and the new person that you have nothing of real value to add to the show. So you think the best way is to just be messy.
Right.
And
And it's not cute. It's not becoming. It's not. I will say this. Pablo, I love you down. I want to see them seasonings happening, but you got on him about not boiling that pot of water before you put them noodles in there.
and I saw a photo of the seasoning, and I'm just like, girl, you need to put some more seasoning in that bottle. She was looking short. Don't turn into one of these old, greedy cunts. I need a little more seasoning in that bottle, honey. Don't be doing me like they do me with the bag of chips, big ass bag, little ass chips.
I will say this. You are very right about AL. Fashion sense is not his thing. And I was gonna say in my own, like in my own recap, AO needs some muscle, and he needs some muscles in certain places. He might have a little, he might have a big old sausage, breast worth down there, but that doesn't adequate the body, the chest, the sex appeal. It doesn't give sex appeal. It gives not to
When
be mean, it gives Scarecrow. Like I don't want to be mean. I'm just saying it. You got a great personality, just
and
body wise. You don't
not
give
a
me.
night before Christmas, girl.
He doesn't give me sex appeal, and I'm like, okay, okay,
I feel like he can talk you through it. I feel like sexually he probably has all the swag and the moves needed, required, and desired. But it's he looks the same as season one. A
right,
whole year has went by, and there's been no actual like. You can tell as people get older. Like I noticed for me, like I'm starting to, define a little bit more. Yes, working out, but also I think as certain people get older, like you start to, you know, become. And
right.
for him, he just looks the exact same. And I'm just like, where is shit? A lot of these girls do. Max looks different. I don't know if anybody's clocking it, but what the fuck is wrong with her face?
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, is it the lighting? Is it the filler? Is it the stuff he's putting on his face that's his products? I don't know. He does it like his face looks very puffy, and I hate that almost everyone on this cast photo shoot and in their confessionals got them sunglasses. I want to see your eyes. I'm sorry, that might be a pet peeve of mine, but I want to see your eyes. Y'all all got the
I think
same
it's those
outfit.
lights. I think it's those lights that might be bothering them, and plus they might be drunk or high while they're doing it, and they just think it looks cool. So I'll give them a little bit of grace on that because that could be the reason. Because them lights are probably bright as hell. So
Right.
you know, and they probably, my earlier days, I used to wear glasses when I did my reviews, and it was really just for like, I don't know, kind of like gave me, even though I know it's not a disguise, but it gave me more confidence. It's weird.
Right.
It's weird. It's weird.
Fabio, however, I love Fabio. Fabio remind me of Burner Boy, like his whole aesthetic. I love his energy. I do hope that he does hold, his newfound Judies, his newfound friends accountable. I would hope that because it does seem to me for producers to say, hold on, like they're gonna sit there and get better over time and during the season. It does show me like, okay, yeah, we have a long road with the Fulala, the Fugazi, the delusions and dysfunctions from those two. And that's what really does hurt me. Like the fact that Marlo sat there and said in the key panel, she sat there and she said she looked up to the Laurens, the Olivers, the Kendras. So it's like, so for you to say that now got me thinking you on
Are
this
you
show with
like
this.
that? Like that too?
You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it got me thinking that are you really embodied them people on this show now? Like, you're Marlo K, you're the city princess, and you can have that title. That seems cute, but what do you do for the city? I don't know what you do for the city. I'm not from Orlando, but I want to know what you do in the city. I don't know what you do. What do you do?
Sure, ain't nothing to do in that po ass city. Orlando is not what people think it is. It's very ghetto. The only places that look cute is the anywhere that's in a 5 mile radius of the theme parks. Anything outside of that is trash. There's abandoned buildings. It is not what people think it is. Now, I will say this: they have decent food, but other than that, girl, please. That's why I
Well,
see the girls live in Tampa and they live other places. They don't really. A lot of them girls don't really live in Orlando. It's
for
nothing.
all that to be said, they should have I ain't gonna lie. They should retitle the show Chasing Tampa because half the cast from Tampa
I
or
know,
Chasing
right?
Miami, like half the cast from Miami or Tampa or that would have been nice too. But hey, switch its own. What are your thoughts actually going towards actually with the producers, aka producer D, Zach, Andario? What is your thoughts on their presence on tardiness and certain scenes breaking down? What is your opinion on that by any chance?
What do you mean?
I'm saying like so your thoughts on how the show is being edited, but then at the same time how certain cast members feel that certain things aren't being shown in lights of them like prime example with Gemini, Marley J, which is the reason why Marley J is not back, was due to last season, and Gemini due to his, of course, what he said about Pablo and the lies, and currently right now with Rashida allegedly being a friend of the show, but was promised to be a main cast member.
Oh, well, I ain't even familiar with all of that stuff, but I'll give a perspective. As it relates to Marley, I do feel the way I feel the first season. I think that his storyline wasn't even tapped into well. Even if we just focused on his creative process for music, remember when he went to go visit, was it B Baby Lindo's friend who was a producer or some shit? They made music together. Even in that moment, you saw the artistry. I may have a lot to say about Marley J, but when it comes to his music process and the product and the end result of his music, I was highly impressed. The child has a gift, and he not only does he have a gift, he has a look. So the
Right.
fact that we got to see the EP release party, but there was no build up, there was no footage of him in the studio building this project that was a really good project. I was again highly impressed. I'm never impressed that much with these web reality music girls. I'm rarely impressed. You'll know when I'm impressed, and I think I gave him his things when I reviewed that particular season. So when I see that people are being underdeveloped or they're not even being tapped into at all, that is definitely a production issue. That is
Right.
there's someone you're telling me you couldn't catch that and develop that and expound on that. So I will say, and something tells me that he probably tried. Marley J, a lot of people don't realize he was dating Ra Ra from Shit We Do for Love. He was actually featured, in a couple of episodes during Ra Ra's tenure on the show. So and he has friends. He's friends with Carl and Tremel. He knows all of these people. He's heavily embedded in the reality space. So he knows the game. I'm quite
He,
sure he had intentions or even probably even footage of his music making process in his storyline. So just the fact that none of that was developed lets me know that there's an issue there. Um, as far as him not coming back because of it, I don't really blame him. If you've done everything you can to really showcase who you are, but other people, again, I don't know this to be fact. I'm just giving a perspective. If these
mhm.
people are taking it upon themselves to just write a different story than what really is you, then obviously that's their issue. So I don't blame for not coming back. Rem and I think really it's an accountability issue. If you are the aggressor, if you are the abuser, the instigator of this, and you bit Christopher Columbus's face off, and you were abusing him, girl, like you did all of these things, but you just don't want it highlighted on the show because if it's made that public, it could jeopardize business endeavors. Sorry, girl, like that's part of your life, and unfortunately, that's the T. But it's also your right to back out and say that I don't want to show that. I don't want to be a part of that.
It's
Especially if they were bothering you to show that.
well.
Would
Mm,
wouldn't you feel some type of way if you went through something, right? Whether you're the aggressor, it don't matter. Even if you're the great evil, like if someone's pushing you, again, I don't know this for a fact. I'm just giving a perspective. So if someone is pushing you to tell a story you don't want to tell, especially if it puts you in a bad light, and they keep trying to push you for it, won't you also say, you know what, fuck y'all, I'm out?
same exact way. I would just didn't be. I would bow gracefully, but it's just that if we're gonna get certain scenes about his storyline, it would have made sense to just cut. I mean, cut certain things, not everything, but him being a part of certain scenes, okay, yeah, it makes sense. But him having like little solo scenes or little group scenes with like prime example with Cali Boy, Mark, and himself, that scene could have been chopped up and skewed,
They could have
or
scrapped it. It really had no value.
It had no value. It had no value
Especially once you
whatsoever.
realize that she wasn't going to give you the explanation you needed, and it wasn't going to. You have to think about your audience. Would this make sense to the audience? Fuck no. So just the scene really had no real value because the most of it was y'all regurgitating shit from the pool party, and then you Rem and I wasn't giving a clear, concise, explanation of the tea. It's go ahead and scrap it. Just you can do without it.
Oh, and let's go. And I don't want to regurgitate because I know you don't like that regurgitation. But I will say this: I have no clue who party it was still till this day, because from that very first episode to this episode, it's too many two parties saying, "Oh, it was it was his party." Ao, there was Cali Boy party. With Pablo's event, we knew it was Pablo's event, and I love how
It
we
was
jumped.
Cali Boy's event.
Perfect, boom.
The only reason people confused it is because the first scene of the episode when Cali Boy and Ayo met up, Cali Boy did mention putting together something to introduce the group. Remember, I said in one of my reviews, one of the things that angered me was the fact that Ayo brought up with Cali Boy hosting an event. Then we have Rem and I inviting Mark to an event to meet the girls. And then
Mm-hmm.
at the end of this episode, we get the pool party that's hosted by Cali Boy. So people were under the impression that Ayo and Rem and I were talking about the pool party when in actuality they were not.
Got you.
So this goes to, bitches who ain't, I don't mean to be mean, but it's the truth, girl, because I get irritated. Bitches who ain't good storytellers. Like you had us thinking that. They were talking about three different situations. So, it just makes it confusing. You got to think about your audience. Like, we're all
Right.
not hooked on phonics, bitch.
I will say also to your point that they should have like a trans styled show, like a panel show, because I feel like honestly, Chase Reality has been around for since what 20, almost like 2015, 2016. It's 2025, going on 2026. We should at least have a panel type show for the trans women. Like if we're doing the group chat, I mean the group chat. Let's do a panel type show with all trans women, or I don't know, a trans women show, or even sitting here doing it's not like a chasing style show, but called like I don't know, like the doll, something that what's his name, something that Karan did in that light. Like we could sit here and do a trans style show. We have a lot of trans women on the show. Let's start doing that. Like I feel that at times it does get difficult. I don't know about the whole getting the cast together, getting all this together. I don't know about that, but I do know that it could be hard. But I feel like listening to what the fans possibly may want to see on your network does kind of it benefits, if it make any sense.
Hmm.
Like we wanted a different show outside of Chasing, which led to The Sweet Life with Fly King I and Andre, which led to From the Styled by Howard, which led to currently Twan Dixon from a therapist perspective, which is definitely I would love for a season two. I would love for a season two of that show. But I don't know. I feel like we should have another type of show that's geared towards trans women because honestly, the trans girls are not really. There's no show on Chasing that's for them, to be honest.
No, because and it's difficult because, like, not saying that trans women cannot be in the spaces of others, but I do find, like, ever since what season was that? Because I didn't get into season 2 of LA, but I think it was season 1 of LA was when I realized something. Remember that situation with I forgot her name, girl.
Alicia,
I think so, yeah, her. There was a bunch of stuff going on with that, and that was the moment I realized, like, oh shit, it could potentially be dangerous because, like, let's just tell the truth. A lot of us, not us, but us in the community, have no real respect for trans women. We barely respect the many punks who have a little bit of faggoty in them, right? You know what I mean? Like we barely respect the feminine girls, let alone women presenting ones, at that matter. So it was at that moment I was like, this could potentially be dangerous because like you got a lot of these butch queens who don't give a fuck and they will fuck you up.
Right.
And that could be horrible. So it was that moment, and then obviously the things that we saw throughout the rest of the franchises as they were developed, adding more trans women to the shows. We see that yes, you know, like with Rachel, I would whoop her ass. I'm not even gonna. Certain bitches deserve it because of how the energy they spew out and the fact that they want to run up on you without thinking to themselves like, "Oh wow," you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're still thinking in that way of an aggressive man while presenting female, you know how the girls can get a little rah rah rah, so you end up putting yourself. We see with Marlo and Rashida from the pool party situation. Like, we have to be mindful of that. And
Right.
I never want to justify or even condone any level of violence, but I do believe in being reactionary as fuck when someone does something. I don't care if you're a man, woman, dog, cat, or child, bitch. My reaction, my real reaction to what is done to me is probably going to be the same for any and everybody, no matter what you look like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's bad for me too, because now I'll be known as the guy who just beat up old trans fish.
Mm.
Like, it's it's not a win-win at all. It's just like the straight boys back in the day. You can beat the punk up, but now you're just the guy who beat up a punk.
Right.
Or you might be the guy who got beat up by the punk. So you got to take that L either way. So I just think that,
Mm-mm-mm.
when we talk about, these shows, now that we have a plethora of trans women, it is possible to give them something that belongs to them.
Right.
But it has
Okay.
to be done the correct way. Um, Storytelling and being able to be empathetic and understanding will be going a long way in that regard. And I think that's probably the reason no one has touched it. Because if they do it, they know they're going to have to do this the right way or face, hello God, the pits of hell.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
maybe, just maybe, the person that actually needs to do it needs to be trans themselves.
That's a big thing too. That's another big thing too. So,
Because now
uh,
we have like JT, she's trans, right? I don't know. I don't want to speak out of turn, but
I don't know.
she's co-producing that show with Carl the Scene. So I mean, like, maybe get some of these girls to see if they have an executive producer hat that they didn't know they had before. Like, maybe pick some of these girls' brains to see if they wouldn't mind. Do they have the capability to be an executive producer or a creative on that level to put the girls on?
I'm curious. I'm ready for the scene. I'm sorry. Scotty filming a reality show that was not on my bingo card, and the fact that he filmed the entire show, I am so curious. I'm ready to see what's going to pop off, what's going to happen. I don't know how many episodes. I think they said it was going to be maybe 8 to 10 episodes, possibly. I don't know, but I'm very curious. Hats off to Carl. Hats off to JT. Hats off to all parties involved. I
Hello,
want
God.
to see. I want to see what's going to go down, especially since Stylish, and that was a different type of show. Different type of show. The fact that that show ended abruptly, I hated that. But hey, you got something new coming out. I want to see it. Heck, I might even, I'm not going to say I might. I will review it. And hopefully it comes on time.
The only thing, y'all better be lucky, honey, because y'all pulling me out of retirement when it comes to that shit. I don't normally review anything outside of chasing. So, but in an effort to support my brother Scotty by Nature TV, honey, and Bando Kane, because I do love them both. And
Yes.
Carl, I love Carl. Carl was the only reason I watched that show. What was that web reality show he was a part of?
Oh, it's Web Life.
Yes, honey, he was the only thing I enjoyed about that show. Like, everything else was like, girl, please. Like, Carl's always a good time. He's great for television. So it's actually interesting, and it's going to be fun to see him in the executive producer space. So I just know that it's going to be good. Um, so I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm probably going to review it. and get into the things. Because again, Scotty is always supportive of everybody. So
Yes,
the
he
least we could the
is.
least we could do is watch the platform and give the things, honey. Okay.
And y'all go buy his book too. His book is out now, honey. His book is out now. I'm waiting to get paid so I can buy that book because I'm gonna buy my little book
I
for
think it's called
on Tuesday.
That's Why You're Lonely.
Yup, that's the book. Yes,
That's
yes,
That's Why You're Lonely.
yes. But
Yeah.
YB, let me get off of here. I know you better get ready for the Kiki panel because I definitely will be jumping on there too and watching y'all get into the things
Thank
of those
you.
things.
Thank
So
you.
yes. And I'll send you the list of items that you want to get for your podcast.
All right, now they just make sure they're cost effective, honey.
Oh
Okay.
no, they definitely are. They not know $1,000 now, not even know 100. They under a good $50.
Okay. Okay. Because I was gonna go to Timu, bitch.
Look. Oh look, what's it called? The TikTok, the TikTok shop. Yup.
I actually did put some stuff in my cart because I saw this advertised. You know, they always be advertising a shit, child. And I saw these wireless microphones that looked really cute. So, but I also saw this cute setup. It was so yeah. Send me the links. Let me see what's the tea. I
I
appreciate it.
got you.
I appreciate it. And thank you so much for all your support and love. I appreciate you, boo.
No problem. Appreciate you too.
You have a good evening. I'll see you on my Kiki panel. All right, y'all. You have a question about the book? I can't answer any questions about the book. You'd have to ask Scotty directly, baby. All right, y'all. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? No, I think that's it for now. Um, again, y'all, I appreciate you. You're catching the replay. Thank you so much. Make sure to like the video as you come in, and if you forgot to do that, like it as you leave. Okay. Shout out to Devontae for coming up and sharing his thoughts, his perspectives, getting into the things of all those things. Consistency is key for me, you know, moving forward. I was on a little hiatus, but we will be doing these lives every weekend, whether Saturday or Sunday before the Kiki panel, you know, because I love y'all and I really do appreciate y'all. And again, us creators, content creators, we are nothing without y'all. Okay. So shout out to y'all, the love that you continue to show, supporting and whatever, whether it's viewership, whether it's donations, whether it's liking the video, sharing it out, like just you being here is appreciated. Okay. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, that's all I have. So make sure you're tuning in tonight for the Kiki panel over on Harviana's YouTube channel. Once the link is provided onto me, I will provide it onto you. Okay. Thank you, Demi, and thank you, everyone. And if I didn't get a chance to get to your questions or your comments, I do apologize. It's one of the curses of doing these StreamYards on the phone. Everything is small and minimized, and the comment box for me is very small. So, you know, moving forward, I'm going to do the best I can to really make sure everybody is included. What's up, MVN? How you doing, boo? Love you too. Love all of y'all. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the live. Okay. Hello, God. I enjoyed y'all. I love y'all. So until the next video, guys, be blessed and never stressed. Remember that health is truly wealth. All right. And I'll see y'all down to the Kiki panel in about 2 hours. All right. Take care, y'all. Bye.